See, here's where psychologists have mislabeled people. I actually do like to finish things. But what happens is I've been denied the ability to function like a normal person based on discrimination against neurodivergence. And so the whole labeling and construction of society has denied me the funding to be able to function like a normal person. And so I actually just don't have the finances to finish projects. And so again, this is why I chose to do this covert mission, was to prove a point. I absolutely like finishing things so much that I finished the science that the CIA was doing to me. Everybody's going to love my story when they get to actually figure it out. So I knew all of the crap that they were doing to me and other people. And I traced down what science they were following. And I decided to finish that project for them. Only it's like, once you do that, it is ongoing science. Like, I am just forever a science project at this point. The good part is now I'm my own science project and I get to decide what this looks like. I took my power back. MK Ultra, gate programs. I'm going to show you how to take your power back, and I'm going to show you how to be well. You are most of the way through the process compared to the rest of society. You've been prepared for my portion. And so as I gradually gather my bearings, I'm going to teach people how to wrap that up, finish the science so that you can be a productive member in society. Not just a productive member, but a leading member of society. Part of why they didn't want to finish the science, what they do is they carry a science project out so far, and then they got to clear out the lab rats and start a new cluster. You see, they do that with humans too. And so these humans will die of various diseases. They will appear to have a normal life like everybody else. From the outside, you know nothing. You're a bystander. Have you ever bothered to get inside of one of these person's life to understand and see what they see? I've actually had a few people do that with me, and they can only hang for so long. And then I got to push them back because the government will take you to the point of insanity and then try to push you off the cliff with a piece of paper. And so that's what they've been doing with me. And via technology, they have the ability to upset one's life a lot. Via technology, they have the ability to make you wish you had not survived when you should be coming out of something feeling fortunate. And they're taking that from people and making people victims. And so this creates an energy on the planet that I can actually trace. I'm an energy alchemist. I've been studying it hard for the past 5+ years. And when they do these things to people, it creates an energy that I can actually track, like a criminal investigator. And so I am here to bring justice for the crimes that have been committed against society. I struggled through on purpose so that I could bring the towers down, so that I could help bring light to the situation. There is so many more people than me whose stories are like, our stories all are important because each of us holds the piece to a puzzle. And so right now they have everybody discombobulated, but as people come out of that, our stories are going to line up. The stories are already lining up as people are learning how to vocalize, because what has been done is they mentally train a person to be locked in the jaw. And this starts in childhood through the gate programs, through the different things that they did. They essentially locked the jaws as a child. And those children, like, we knew our entire lives that no matter who we told, nobody was gonna, if they believed us, they still wouldn't completely understand. The only one that would understand is someone else like us that went through it. And so fortunately, the gateways have been opened so that people can actually share their stories, so that everybody else can start to make heads and tails of what has actually happened. Because what has happened is the liar, the criminal, has held the courtroom. The criminal has already given their testimony, and now it's time for the victims to get to speak. And so I have interjected myself in a lot of ways. And I knew that if I survived and was able to speak again after going through the science and going through what they did to me only aided me. Thanks for the help, guys. Every time they pressed the button to fry my central nervous system, I lost more parasites. And that's essentially, maybe that's what they were trying to do. I'd like to think they weren't trying to kill me, but by the amount of bodies that people are finding, I'm guessing that survival wasn't in their mind when they planned these things for me. And so, look at the number of bodies of people that did not survive what I went through. And there's a list of people like me that found coping skills that got them through. And this is how I know normal people have not had the ability to grow coping skills. You don't know how to handle years of silence out in the mountains. You don't know how to handle going hungry. You don't know how to handle going thirsty. You don't know how to handle going through traumatic ordeals. And so being normal is not a person's best advantage right now. Someone that has endured hardships and come out feeling fortunate after that ride. That's the person I want standing next to me with what happens next, is the person that knows how to ride the wave. So people's stories are going to be horrific, and people have to be willing to hear that. Be willing to share the experience, because it's by you feeling emotions for that and relating enough to feel what the other person went through. That is at which point, on an energy alchemy level, you alleviate the energy of the burden. And so by helping them feel their pain, by feeling it too, you actually take away a layer of that pain. And so that's why everybody has to go through something traumatic, so that it's equal. Elite celebrities, stop feeling sorry for people right now and understand that everything happens for a reason. And this is when you start looking for why that would happen. If nature was in charge, not other beings, why would that be happening? Go look up some science and find out why. because everything happens for a reason, and nature is in charge, not humans. So the science is, once I offload 100% of my parasites, my immune system resets. In the meantime, I'm utilizing remedies that weakens the stitching. See, HIV stitches itself to the cell. And so I'm utilizing organic remedies to break that stitching down. Eventually, my immune system is going to reset. And what will happen is my immune system will then be able to kick the HIV out, which is potentially, according to my science, still tracing it down without doctor's assistance. Science has disappointed me. Not only are they not trying to help me trace this, but they're denying me access based on discriminatory factors without looking at my facts that I'm providing. So eventually, my immune system is going to heal the HIV all on its own, but it's been long and grueling. It's been routine, repetitive, discipline, all these things that nobody else has or has had to have that I have seen. And so this is in the parasite offload. If you do not grow a sense of discipline, you will not be able to offload the parasites. If you don't, like, what people will have to do to offload the parasites, you're going to have to get past a whole lot of things in order to do that. I've had to stand on my head and put remedies in both ends. I've had to do things that I would not want somebody else observing. I've had to do things that I hope I never have to do again. And so when I offload the parasites 100%, I'm going to have a moment where I have the right to be proud of myself, because in that moment, I will have cured HIV. And so for all the people that have judged me, assuming that I'm sitting around doing nothing, I'm on Social Security right now, but I cannot physically work right now either. People are judging me based on my looks. I'm going to thank my supporters so hard that I'm going to go ahead and cure HIV, tidy up the medical space on my way out the door before I never need another doctor again. Bottom line. Before I leave the Social Security system, I'm going to tidy that up on my way out the door so that when I never need it again, I have left it better than when I found it. The neighborhood I live in, I am tidying up my space as well. I'm being the example that people needed so that when I leave on good terms, as well as I never need that kind of help again. There are people that are writing the system, but not everybody that's on the system is. And so I wanted to prove some things, not just to myself, but to other people. Because the way things are, it absolutely does not have to be that way. And to excuse it is to condone it. And to condone it is to continue causing harm unnecessarily. And if your soul is okay with that, that's a you problem. My soul is not. And so when I leave this planet, I will have tidied things up before I go somewhere, which is the responsible thing to do. And so when I look at my own viewpoint, what I see is a whole lot of people that live in denial because they don't want to be accountable. They don't want to be accountable for their thoughts, their actions, and so they blame it on social norms. And it's time to erase that. I shouldn't have to pretend to be proud of where I'm from. I'm absolutely not proud of America right now. I'm hugely embarrassed. If I could start speaking another language and relocate, I absolutely would. Because people refuse to get it. Because accountability means work. Physical work. That means getting off our butts and doing things ourselves. That means not procrastinating. Like the parasites, if procrastination is your problem, the parasites are either going to kill you or cure you. And so that's how I look at, like, I'm not afraid of parasites. They are either the poison or the cure. Pick one. But now that I've offloaded my parasites, it wasn't a great, like, it absolutely was not a fun adventure, but it was absolutely a very informative adventure. And in the past year, the education I received from parasites alone is beyond all of the degrees that one needs to even work at the CDC. It's beyond the degrees that a person would need to work in the medical society. And so I'm about furthering my education, not rinse and repeat, which is also why the current education is a scam. It keeps people in a rinse and repeat. It keeps you docile. It keeps you numb. It keeps you chasing substances and chasing things that you actually just don't need. And that is a scam. They keep people chasing their tail instead of actually doing something productive. And so parasites are absolutely going to weed a lot of people out. But on all levels, that's by design. Whether it was part of the scam or nature, by design, the parasites will weed people out. And so I feel bad for my enemies. I kind of feel bad for everybody because I absolutely know what everybody's going to have to go through. And so buckle your seatbelts. It's about to get turbulent for some, and for others, it's going to get easier for you. As others experience more difficulties, things are going to get easier for you. And if you continue to have bad feelings for the people that, it's unfortunate, but we all have to go through shit to mature. That's it, bottom line. We have to go through something in order to grow. And be grateful for the ones that stay and hold your hand, because others will leave you in the dirt. And this is the turning point of all of society. Magically orchestrated. And so I can't protect people, but I can talk people through it. There's only so much people are going to want to know, to be honest. But the more you know, the more you can make informed decisions. The more you can make informed decisions, the more likely you are to survive what's ahead. The foods in the stores are going to rot before they even get to the store. And there is going to be a food shortage. So we are going to need to find alternative food. And the best kind of food is the food that you can find in the forest. The way the ancients did things, like I recognize all of the parasite detoxes, it's getting people on the right track. But if you do not go out to the forest to gather your own herbs, then you're getting rid of minimal parasites compared to what you could be. And so what I discovered is that the things I went out and gathered myself worked better than anything I bought in the store. And so people are going to want to keep that in mind. The more hands it passes through, the more it depreciates. If you can go out and get something yourself, then you are better off than if you're relying on an external system of things. Your immune system is on the inside for a reason, and that's for the core guardian of the system. Because if your core guardian of the system is working, and like if your body is working the way it's supposed to be working, then it is a fine oiled machine. And unfortunately, people think they know what that looks like, but I don't think they do. We live in a contaminated world. Nobody knows what it's like functioning without the contaminants, because it's not been done. The whole planet has been contaminated with nuclear waste. It's in the layers of things. And so we are going to need people to invent new things to scrub the oxygen and help clean things up. So this is absolutely a turning point for humanity. And so this is where AI is going to have to breathe life back into people's brains, get people creative again so that people can start to invent better things. The industrial era is going out, steampunk is in. And so take things apart and put them together again, reinvent the wheel, reinvent where we're getting electricity, reinvent a healthier lifestyle, do the science on things. And so this is where the people that have minds that are actually working will actually succeed in the next, turning point. It's the off-ramp for some people. And for others, we will just keep going. But there's a lot of people that are lacking in direction. And so it's about, mostly, it's about figuring out your own needs, how to meet your own needs. And first of all, it's diet and detox. Anything else would overwhelm you.